Well, hi there, I'm Chef Paul. Welcome to the demonstration kitchen here at Henry Ford Hospital. We're really glad to be here today. We've got some great recipes for you, and we've got some fun things that we think you're going to enjoy. I want to start this video as a prep video. This is things that we're going to need for the other videos going on today, and it's something that I really like and enjoy doing. You may notice a little difference. Last time we did a bunch of videos like this, I was 60 pounds heavier and I went on a plant-based diet, and I feel a lot better now from it. These are some of the techniques and some of the recipes that I have been using over the last 6 months to help me with my weight loss. One of the things that I did was to get away from all dairy. Dairy for me caused a lot of inflammation in my stomach, in my belly, and it just made me feel sluggish and didn't make me feel good. And I think also too I was kind of borderline lactose intolerant. Some of us are, we don't realize it, and the older that I was getting, the more it was becoming pronounced. So I turned to plant-based milks and plant-based creams to either for my cereal or things like that, or for desserts, and we're going to make a dessert in one of our later videos. First thing I want to show you is how to make almond milk. Almond milk is one of the simplest things to make and was one of the first things that my coach taught me how to make, and it's a lot of fun and it's easy to do. You just need a really good blender to be able to do this. Any sort of blender will work. It may take a little longer to do it on something other than the Vitamix here. Take your bowl and you need to soak almonds. These are raw almonds, not roasted or salted. These are raw. I buy these in bulk, and I know that they have not been pasteurized or anything else done to them. And you soak them overnight, and they puff up to about nearly twice the amount that you start with. This was originally 1 cup of raw almonds. It's now right around 2 cups. We're going to add that to the bowl, and we're going to add some medjool dates. I love dates. It's a great sweetener, and it's also one of the things that adds flavor. I'm not going to add vanilla to this one because I want to use it in other cooking that I'm doing, and the vanilla would impart a bad flavor. But if I wanted a different shift on the milk, I can add really good cocoa. I can add fresh berries, or I could add vanilla. And I could have chocolate milk, strawberry milk, or a nice sweeter vanilla. Okay? You add just a pinch of salt, just a pinch. And we're going to add 3 cups of water. So the ratio is 2 to 1. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add 3 cups now, and the 4th cup I'm going to add a little later. Pop that on the blender and turn it on. The ratio of water to almonds, some people do almost 1.5 to 1, and that would be something that they would put in their coffee. Some people like it a lot thinner, and they might do 3 to 1. I've gone in the middle at about 2 to 1. Now, that took about a minute or less. The only other thing that you would need is a large bowl and a bag. This is a milk bag. And a good friend of mine at Rawsome Creations, she makes these bags, and a portion of every bag goes back to an orphanage in Indonesia that she works with. But these are great bags. RawsomeCreation.com. Really great. You can also buy them at your local stores, Better Health, Whole Foods, things like that. Now that you've got the liquid, you put the bag, I do the seam side out, and you pour a little bit of the milk at a time. And you'll see it dripping through. you now just squeeze. Make sure your hands are clean and just squeeze it. And there is your almond milk. That's how simple and easy it is to make. Right? And when you try this, it is so superior to anything that you'll buy in the store because there are no additives. There's no thickeners. There's no things that they put in there for shelf life. This is wonderful, wonderful almond milk. All right? And then you just squeeze it down like that and pour the rest in. Now, we're not going to throw away the almond meal because I'm going to show you a really great thing that you can make with the almond meal. I now put in my last cup of water into the bowl. Give it a swish around. And again, milk it. You just squeeze it down. A cup of almonds, I use mostly the almond milk for my breakfast, and this recipe will last me about 5 or 6 days. All right. Now I put this into a glass container, cover it, and put it into my refrigerator. And again, I don't make huge batches. I only make enough that I'm going to consume or use in about 4 or 5 days. Right? And it's so easy to do. It's just soaking the almonds and then blending them and squeezing them up. And that's it. Now, once you've done this, you end up with almond meal. And you may see it, or you may have bought it where it's dried and used as an alternative flour or flour type substance for coating and other things like that. We could use this in another recipe that we're going to do later today, where we're going to roast up some cauliflower. I could use this as a coating for the cauliflower, but I'm going to show you a fun thing that I like to do. All right, once that is all squeezed out, there are some presses that you can find. That now is the gorgeous almond milk. And again, so fresh, so easy. All right? Now, let me show you what we're going to do with the almond meal. So, you just turn the bag inside out and you take out the existing pulp. This will give you about a cup of almond pulp. And you can see, yes, it's got a little bit of medjool date, but the medjool date, for most part, has been mixed up. Okay, we are going to add some dried herb or some fresh herb. We're going to add a little bit of salt. We're going to add some chia seeds or flax seeds. We're going to take a clove of garlic, and you can grate it, or you can chop it up. I'm going to add that in. And we're going to add some coconut oil. You can melt it if you like, or you can just put it in whole. It doesn't really matter. And we're just going to mix that all together. Now, because it's still wet, it's going to hold together really, really well. And you just mix that all the way through so it's completely incorporated. Make sure that the coconut oil is well incorporated in the mix. Otherwise, you'll end up where you'll have little holes in your crackers that we're going to make. All right. Now, once that's all mixed, we take a tray and we can take a small portion, roll it and push it flat onto the tray. Just like that. And you can set those all the way up. You can make the crackers as big as you want. This is a silpat, so it doesn't have to be sprayed. You can make the crackers as big as you want or as small as you want. I make them about 2 inches, maybe 2 inches in diameter, and about 1/8 of an inch high. Okay? So once that's all laid out, you pop them in the oven, 375 degrees for about 10 minutes. And then you can flip them, cook them again for another 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the thickness that you've come up with. And the end result are these beautiful almond meal crackers that are so fantastic that they're just unbelievable. I like to do them with my favorite nut cheeses. And I've got some fun ones here that I want to share with you today. The nut cheeses from Mayoko's. This is a smoked English farmhouse, and it's all made with cashews. And this one here is a classic chive. And I use this with spinach and artichoke hearts and make an artichoke dip out of it and serve it with the crackers. So the dairy that I thought I would have missed, the cheeses in particular, I can have them now with a nut-based product. And I'm going to show you how they kind of make it, not 100%, but how they make it using the cashews. All right, so the next one here that we're going to do is we're going to make the cashew cream. And the cashew cream is something that we're going to make for a recipe that is a cheesecake that we're going to make. Now, there's several types of cashew creams. You can make it a basic one where you can make it into a bechamel and make it as a cheese sauce. You can make an absolute plain one where you can make it as a mayonnaise or other condiment that you might want for sandwiches or for other dishes. And then you can make it as a sweet cashew cream like we're going to do for our cashew cream cheesecake for later on one of the other videos. Now, we can use the almond container. It's not a big deal. We're going to take, again, this is about a cup of cashews that have been raw. These are raw, I should say. And these have been soaked. And again, you get about twice the amount of cashew soaked that you do from dry. Don't get them salted, don't get them roasted, just raw cashews. We're going to add these soaked overnight for about 10 to 12 hours. We're going to put the cashews in. We're going to add some maple syrup or agave. And our recipe will show you the amounts. We're going to add some coconut oil that's been melted. We're going to add a little bit of salt because the salt will set off the sweet and the savory part. And we're going to add some juice of Meyer lemons. But before I do the juice, I want to zest the lemon. It's a lot easier to zest the lemon before you juice it. So why a Meyer lemon? So a Meyer lemon is a cross between a regular lemon and I would say like a Tangelo. It is less acidic than regular lemons. It's got a little more sweetness and just a wonderful citrusy flavor. And you can buy these pretty well. Most stores I've found best at Fresh Time. They always seem to have them. Myers and Kroger's, not all the time. All right? We just want the zest. We don't want the pith. And about 2 Meyer lemons will give me all the zest that I want for this beautiful citrusy cheesecake that we're making. But we're also making this as a wonderful citrus nut cream. All right. Now, once you've zested the lemons, we're going to juice them. And I've got my wonderful juicer here. This is one of the best tools that I have in my kitchen. And we want about a half a cup. Oh, there's not too much juice in that one. We want about a half a cup of lemon juice. All right, and that should be about the juice of 2 lemons. Oh yeah, this one's a lot juicier. If you don't have a juicer like this, just use the back of a big spoon and squeeze it on the inside of the lemon to pull out all the juice. All right, now once we've got that going, we just pop it back onto the blender again and we blend. If we have to, we wipe down the side just a little. Make sure that we get all that beautiful zest. We want it to be really, really smooth and creamy. All right, and that takes about a minute. And now you'll see, let's just pull down the side, a beautiful creamy consistency of the cashew nut cream. And this, with a little bit of sweetener and a little bit of lime or lemon, is fantastic. You can taste the coconut, but we want that in this dessert. So these are the main components that we're going to be using for a dessert that we're going to make. We hope that you'll stick around and watch the rest of the videos. This is making the coconut milk and the cashew cream, the almond milk and the cashew cream. What they would do with the cashew cream as well, with a plain one, they would add other ingredients and a nutritional yeast and set it up to make the cheeses. And it's exactly the same base, just different components added to it to make the cheese. And it's really, really great. We hope you're going to stick around and see a few more of our components. One we're going to do is a coconut yogurt, and that's a really fun one to make.